What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I think it was NBC Sports posed a question today: are the Nashville Predators legitimate contenders? Via a poll form, and I think you'd be foolish to say no. Look at how the team's constructed. The biggest Achilles heel historically for Nashville has been the lack of productive forwards. That hasn't been the case this year. Philip Forsberg, Mike Ribeiro, and James Neal have constructed one of the best lines in hockey, and really clicking. Philip Forsberg is playing well beyond his years and looking like an absolute stud. Ribeiro's looking like one of the best bargains of the off season. And the team's just clicking on all cylinders. The defense has been great too. Shea Weber's having yet another Norris Trophy caliber season. I mean, the numbers are really good. 26 points in 38 games. But if you watch him play consistently, like wow, there's no question he's probably the best defenseman in the NHL. And then beyond Weber, Roman Yossi's coming up huge. I think Seth Jones is playing very well. His numbers may not reflect it, but he's playing some big time shutdown minutes as a 20-year-old, and I think it's the team is different than it ever has been because the forward core can put goals up on the board, and now the defense can activate and really punish other teams physically and make those goals stand. I mean, this is one of the deeper defense cores in the league, and then we haven't even mentioned having one of the best goalies in the league in Pekka Rinne. I mean, when he's healthy, this is an entirely different Nashville team. You're looking at a guy that's been a Vezina finalist in the past, that's putting together an outstanding season, 2 goals against average, 929 save percentage, and keeping the Predators in pretty much every single game. And if they want to win the Stanley Cup, they're gonna need him at his best, and I think they'll be getting just that. They got a good mix of young guys and veterans. I've talked about Forsberg and Seth Jones, Roman Josi, guys that are all 25 and under, but, Colin Wilson, another, 25-year-old player that's really having a fantastic year for Nashville, a guy I've been a huge fan of since his days at Boston University. But you also look at the veterans. You look at a Paul Gaustad, a Mike Fisher of sorts, and, the way that they're, bringing leadership to the table every single night. And, you really got to be impressed with the way they're playing as of late. Fisher comes back off the Achilles injury, has 11 points in 17 games, and, is really anchoring that second line. Now, do I think they could use a shot in the arm? Yeah, I mean, I'd roll, if Yager doesn't cost too much, if you can get Yager for like a second and a third and like a C-list prospect, I'd do it if I was Dave Poyle, because, Peter Laviolette's got these guys buying in. Yager's played for Laviolette in the past in Philadelphia, and, you'd be foolish not to say, all right, maybe that one second line forward that happens to be a 43-year-old former NHL MVP could be what helps them out in the playoffs, because I think the Western Conference again is as deadly as it ever has been. My preseason predictions were Anaheim, LA, St. Louis, and Chicago. One of those teams comes out of the West. Well, Nashville's pushed themselves into this conversation, and they've the sexier picks, Dallas, Colorado, Minnesota. Nashville's put them all to shame. The Predators are a very complete team that is built to win in the playoffs, and I think will win in the playoffs. And if you put a gun to my head right now, I'd say they have a better than average chance of the Stanley Cup final. I mean, I think LA is so inconsistent that if you get LA in a bad series, but LA can have a bad series and turn it around, like so San Jose last year. I think Anaheim right now got to be the favorite out west, but Nashville's not too far behind. And again, Chicago and St. Louis are no slouches either, but they're definitely in that discussion. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all this episode of the Power Play with CJ on whether or not the Nashville Predators are legitimate Stanley Cup contenders. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.